Hey guys, welcome to Life Success.
Powered by
I'm your
Riverside.
host, and today we've got an amazing subject to talk about. So let's get started because this is going to be an amazing concept talking about stuff. So let's get into it. So, the fear of getting hurt. Now, that's a great thing to think about because really, when you go through something pretty negative and it really has an impact on you, it's something we need to be mindful of, but also we are being realistic about how we perceive the situation because really it all comes down to how we deal with it. And of course, I've been through quite a number of horrible traumas and negative things. So I know what it's like. I've been down that path and I wrote an ebook about it. So you guys are welcome to download it, pay for it on PayHip, and basically get your copy. So really, it's about actually acknowledging that you've been through this negative thing and that hurt. But it all comes down to how we deal with it, how we confront our fear. And this is why is conjunctive behavioral therapy, to acknowledge it, to confront it, and face my fears of it. And when you actually come up with a fear of dealing with these things, it's not easy, I know. When you go through the issues of course, when you pretty much have these triggers, and these triggers really take you into a situation that you don't know how to confront. And sometimes it all comes down to just being mindful of it, acknowledge it, and breathe through it. Like your heart will be pumping fast and you'll have anxiety. And that's common. That's very understandable because when you're going through a negative thing like that, it is huge. It is massive for a lot of people. So being mindful of these things, but be kind to yourself. Don't be hard on yourself because it can be hard, but yes, but learning to be kind to yourself is crucial. I've been down this path and it's not pleasant. I know it's not ideal, but you don't want to end up in that mindset of, oh my God, I'm a failure when you're not. We are not failures. We are just human beings going through negative experience. So, really, just be mindful of what you say to yourself and how you think, because obviously it's an impact on how we perceive ourselves, how we speak to ourselves. And this is why I teach this kind of thing to you guys, because as a coach, I have to be mindful even of my traumatic experiences. I have to be mindful of how I perceive them and how I speak to myself. So doing this every day is crucial, but also be mindful. And writing in a journal is a great tool to have as well, but also knowing that your fear of being a failure is not your fault in realistic life. The reality of, I guess someone was asking me, how do I actually overcome being a failure? And it's like, well, actually, you're not a failure. You have gone through a lot of experiences that made you grow as a person. Be mindful of that because actually, really, we're not perfect. We're just human beings going through a negative experience of life. And that is not easy. Trust me, it has been hard work that's gone through that battle of it. And you know what? We've done an amazing job. So, really, you know, we've got to work our way through it all. And we've come this far. So, let's just be mindful of how we perceive ourselves, how we speak to ourselves, and really utilizing conjunctive behavioral therapy, which you can do. In New Zealand, we have CBT available on their website, which I can link for you guys. But also, there are ways of overcoming fear, being a failure, and fear of trauma and hurt. And there are so many ways you can overcome them. It's just a matter of actually, are you willing to do it? Are you willing to try? So, when you think of the failure side, we're not really a failure. We're just in that situation where we're thinking negatively about it and we struggle with it. And we just got to be mindful of what we think and how we behave towards it. And that when we change that behavior and that thought pattern changes, the better we become. And this is where I had to do that work myself. And that takes time. You can't rush it. You can't expect it to happen straight away, but it will happen in time. You've got to let time be on your side because you can't expect it to happen overnight, but it will change slowly. And you've got to be kind to yourself. So be mindful of that. Be kind to yourself. Talk kindly to yourself. Be nice to yourself because at the end of the day, it's not your fault that somebody has done the damage to you. It's their fault, what they did to you. I had to confront a number of court cases because of somebody else's stupid doing. So, you got to confront it with courage, and that I confronted it through a court case and faced this person face to face in the courtroom, and they looked like idiots in the end. And unfortunately, that's their fault. That's their problem, not yours. But we all got to go through these negative experiences to grow, to become a better person. And the more you learn and grow from it, the better you will be as a person. So I hope this actually helps you guys to look at this in a different perspective and become a good person regardless. Nobody's perfect. So I hope this really helps you guys to think about it and grow from these experiences and become a better person. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you in the next episode.